Listen to me, you are in full control of your destiny, of your future, of your dreams. Nobody else is responsible for it. Too many people, man, I hear too many people talking about Eric, my daddy wasn't there. Eric, my mama wasn't there. Eric, they didn't like me because of my color. Or Eric, they didn't appreciate me because of it. Listen to me, it doesn't make a difference, man. You don't understand that to reach a certain level of success is not about what happens to you, but it's about how you handle what happens to you. I told you, I didn't get a new daddy. I didn't get a new mama. What changed? I changed, and I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying, I've got to wait for good things to happen to me, and I said, I'm gonna grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. I need you to stop whining. I need you to stop complaining. I need you to stop tripping. You're not a victim, you're a victor, and you need to do something about your situation. You need to stop crying over spilled milk, and you need to look at where you are, and then you need to put a plan of action together and say, how am I going to handle this difficulty?
It can work for you, just like it's worked for every other millionaire, just like everybody else who's doing good in school. It can work, but you gotta work it. You gotta become in order to overcome. You gotta be a student to get good grades. You gotta be a good wife, be a good husband. You gotta be an athlete before you can score and do better than everybody else. You gotta become first, and then once you become, then you can overcome.
You can do what you want, you can be what you want, but remember, you gotta be willing to struggle for it, for without struggle, there is no progress. You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. Until you get to that point, you let you down. You're not brave enough. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I'm not putting in 120% when I'm at work. Me down.
You are not a victim, so stop talking like it. Stop acting like it. Listen to me. If you're a part of the problem, you are a part of the solution, and it can work for anybody, but you gotta work it.
What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? Like, how much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it. Keep your eyes on the prize. That's right. Stay locked in and focus on the goal. You got to block everything out. Hear what I'm telling you. You got to block everything out. You got to be willing to block out the pain. You got to be willing to block out the disappointment. You got to be willing to block it all out and keep your eyes on the prize. I don't know, ask yourself the question, what do you want? Right? I can't answer that for you. What do you want? Is it a degree? You want a better marriage? You want to make the team? You want a better GPA? I'm not really sure, but ask yourself the question, what is it you want? Then after you ask yourself the question, what do you want? You got to ask yourself this. Are you willing to pay the price? That's right. You got to block out all the negative people. You got to block out every single obstacle, and you got to keep your eyes on the prize. You got to stay focused. In the words of the great Wayne Buckner, he said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. You heard exactly what I said. If it was easy to have a great marriage, everybody would do it. If it was easy to get your master's, get your PhD, everybody would do it. If it was easy to get a 4.0 in every class, everybody would do it. So number one, if you want to get past the pain, if you want to get past the disappointments, if you want to get to your goal, you gotta stay locked in. You gotta keep your eyes on the prize. You gotta be focused. I need you to learn to focus on the next 24 hours and no more, because I'm gonna tell you what happens. When you start thinking about a week, when you start thinking about a month, when you start thinking about what you're gonna do next year, man, you get overwhelmed. I need you to do me a huge favor, and I need you to learn to stay locked in on a 24-hour time frame. Nothing less and nothing more. That's right, take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. You heard what I said, 24 hours. And if you can learn the 24-hour principle, if you can learn to take it one day at a time, I guarantee you'll never get overwhelmed. Stop worrying about next semester, right? Stop worrying about the semester after that. Listen to me, you focus on today. Focus on today. And if you can focus on those 24 hours, you can realize that it's manageable. And once you understand that it's manageable and that it's doable, you're gonna be all right. Take full responsibility of your actions and your responses. I'm not telling you to take responsibility for the things that happen that you don't have any control of. That's not what I'm asking you to do. But what I am saying is that the part of the problem that has your name written on it, take full responsibility for that part. There's some things in life you can't do anything about. You can't do anything about the fact if the boss doesn't like you. You can't do anything about it if your teacher doesn't like you, right? But I'm telling you today, if you don't like your physical look, if you don't feel good about who you are, boo. Get some gym shoes, tie your laces, and get to running.
So get rid of that book bag mentality. Stop giving up before the end. Learn all you can. Stop going from one thing to the next. Hear what I'm saying? Stop trying to overcome before you become.
That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no, we working out now. Not no, I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.